Okay, I'm going to demonstrate what I was talking about with massaging your foot and bringing more sensation into your foot. And if you would like to have more explanation about what that is or why you would do it, you can click the link below this video where I've talked more about the why. This is just the how, so you can actually have a visual. So two important things. One is just moving bones around relative to each other because the foot has so many bones. And then the other is, you know, pressure and stretch and sensation that way. So moving the bones of the foot relative to each other, you can just grab this part and grab this part, and you can see how it'll twist one way and twist the other like that. So you can do that. And then you can also take both of the outsides and press into the middle, and then press the other way so that you're actually moving the metatarsal heads in a sort of arc and then anti-arc. And just kind of explore these motions of the foot. You can grab the heel relative to the rest of the foot, and it's got some mobility to it, so you can feel little twists in the heel. It's not going to feel like it moves a whole lot, but it's got mobility. You can move the foot relative to the heel and ankle, and just think in terms of changing the position of the small bones in there relative to each other. Think of it as an exploration. Just take your time. You can spread them apart. So now I'm pulling out. Yeah. And then let's see, the next thing I talked about just holding onto the ball of the foot and then taking each of the toes, and where the toe meets the foot, giving a little tug so that you're creating a little space in the joint where the toe meets the foot. You can do that on the big toe and the next toe. You're just kind of using this hand to anchor the other end so that you're not actually anchoring here and then pulling away here. So you can create a little joint space. You can do this really slowly and subtly, and see if you can actually feel that little bit of give that's right at the base of your toe. You don't have to. You don't have to feel anything. It still works. So do that with each toe. And then another thing is right here where your long leg bones, this knobby thing, that's the end of your long leg bone on one side, and the knobby thing on the other side is the end of the other leg bone. So your long leg bones come down, and then they meet the blocky bones of the central part of your foot. And so you can kind of grab your long leg bones in one hand, and then with your thumb or your first knuckle, press down on the top of your foot, which is one of those blocky bones, and then simultaneously kind of cup your heel between your thumb and finger so that you're connecting with the top of the bony part of your heel, and press it that way a little bit. So you're stabilizing with the big part of your hand, and with your fingers you just kind of pressing your bone out away from your ankle. And it helps if you really focus on relaxing your leg when you do this, because if you're really holding onto your leg, it probably doesn't work quite as well for creating some joint space there. So I like to give a little wiggle because it helps me know whether I'm relaxing, gives me that kind of kinesthetic sense of like, oh yeah, I'm holding on to that. So give a little wiggle and kind of press away. And in tandem with this sort of thing, another thing you can do is just grab the heel bone on both sides. Grab the heel, and can tell I go barefoot a lot. And pull that heel just down and away, so like that direction. And while you're doing that, take your other hand and you can stabilize the rest of the foot. And maybe put a thumb in the arch of the foot or something, and just pull that heel down and away and think about the joint space. And then I'd mentioned just pressing your thumbs into your foot like you're texting, you know, because you hold and then you do the da-da-da-da-da. So it's like you just hold on to your foot and do a nice exploration. For brevity's sake on the video, I'm not going to spend as much time doing this as I might otherwise like. Hopefully this part feels pretty good. It usually feels pretty good even if you're doing it for yourself. You can actually do this right over the heel. There's not as much sensation, but it's all about creating sensation so that your nerves are sending signals. If you feel something, there's a nerve signal happening, so that's good. So you can press the whole bottom of your foot. You can also do this by standing on rocks, though some people find that a little too intense of a place to start. So pressing the bottom of the foot, and then yeah. Another thing is to just take the skin, particularly around the ankle, and just like get it to stick to your fingers, and then do like skin swirling, or even you know, the skin can be fairly tight here, but even just like see if you can lift it up. But the idea is to just stretch and move the skin. You can do that on the top of your foot. Oh yeah, the other thing was to see about like this, doing this kind of thing, lifting the skin, like stretching and lifting the skin. See, I got a little pinch of skin there. And see about doing that on the bottom of your foot. And of course, you can't really do it, but you can do the motion. You can't really do it just because the tissue is so tough. You can kind of do this pinching, lifting, and moving tissue around stuff from squeezing the sides of your foot. All right, that's what that looks like. And then once you've done that, just give a little stand up and then see, you know, close your eyes, bring your attention into your feet and see, does that make a difference in how aware I am of that foot relative to the other foot? There you go.